Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Focus on Gaming podcast, episode number 106. Big 106. Just me and Duncan this week.
Hello.
Hello.
Yep, Tom isn't quite back alive yet. Yeah, he did contact us and say he wasn't quite alive yet. So, So, just me and you.
Hopefully, we'll get a continue or get a life or something.
Exactly. He's got to put some money back in the coin slot to get another credit.
Otherwise, it will be forever me and Duncan.
So, I don't suppose you've been playing anything in the last week, have you?
I have. Surprise, yeah. Now, controller. I'm back playing games.
Baby, yeah.
I played Limbo this week.
Fantastic game.
Googled sort of best platformer on Game Pass. Came up with like suggestions. A lot of them I'd already played. Haven't played Limbo, so I was like, well, I'll give it a go. And
yeah, I'd say it is definitely a platformer. But it's a puzzle platformer, and it's a tough puzzle platformer. But it's just at the right level that you just keep getting a little bit further.
And I completed it over about
fantastic
2 sittings.
Did you get the? Oh, was it there's an achievement, isn't there, for completing it with less than 5 deaths?
Definitely not. No.
Yeah, I think I took about 20 minutes before I was like, nah, that's not going to happen.
I didn't even know that was an achievement. Maybe I'll try and play it again and try and do it. And a lot of the time, I died because it's just unavoidable. Like you die and then and then you go. Okay,
it's trial and error, isn't it? A lot of it.
But yeah, I think I probably completed it in probably about 4 or 5 hours over 2 sittings. I probably played it for about 3.5, 4 hours in one go because I just couldn't get off it, and then I was like, I've got to go to bed. And then the next day, I wanted to go back on it. Didn't realise I was so far. And then about half an hour later, I completed it, and I was like, oh. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. It was, I'd say, probably
it's a fantastic game.
One of the best indie games I've ever played.
Now, what's your opinion? Is the sister alive or dead that he's trying to rescue?
I didn't know.
Is he dead? What's your? Because it's one of these games where you're never quite sure actually what it is that the story is, other than I think it's his sister, isn't it, that he's trying to find. But I think at the end,
there's no cutscenes, though, is there?
No, there's no cutscenes, and it was all weird, sort of dreamy, black and white. So
I didn't have a clue about anything. You just wake up in this like forest or wherever you are. It's Limbo. That's the game.
In Limbo. And that's the thing, you see, it says about in Limbo, so it's almost like whether he's dead and he's on an eternal quest to find his sister because he's dead, or whether he's in some kind of limbo trying to save her from being dead. I think that's it. It's been a while since I've played it. And yeah, mostly the story isn't a big part of it, but it is a fantastic puzzle. As I said, you'll be walking along and then suddenly, I don't know, a rock will crush you. You'll be like, oh, okay then. So I'm just going to walk here, let that fall, jump over that, grab that, pull that, and blah, 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 all that kind of thing. And it's...
I mean, like, it's like 2 halves. Like the first half is like avoiding things that kill you. So the spider,
like giant spiders.
Which that comes quite early in the game, and it's a bit of a shock.
Oh, yes.
To see that
yes.
The spider so early on, because you're trying to most games sort of ease you in, but sort of within probably 10-15 minutes you're there with this massive spider. It's quite easy.
Pierces you with its massive legs.
Quite easy to get through once you like.
And then you do get to pull the spider's legs off as well. So
you do, yeah. And then you have these little other children who try to kill you, or I say try. They did kill me successfully quite a lot.
more than
And then
5 times.
the second half of the game, you don't see any spiders or any children or anything. It's just puzzles then. And then there's like the anti-gravity, you got the magnets and the water where you got like...
Yeah.
I did enjoy the puzzles. There were some where I had to go on YouTube because I was like, I cannot like figure out. And that some of
it is tough. Yeah, tough puzzles.
But it wasn't actually. I mean, they were quite hard to do. But some of it was I just couldn't work out what I needed to do because it wasn't that obvious. And there were some where I looked in it, I was like, oh yeah, that's obvious now. But there were some, and this is like the only criticism. But there were ones where I'm like, I've just watched it on YouTube, but I still don't really understand. There was one where you got to pull levers to get the water level right, so you could get...
Oh, yeah. And you're like, hang on, I've got to reset it, but I don't know how to reset it. So I'm just going to flip this, flip that, and hopefully I'll get to the end.
But I was just doing it all before, and I was like, I just can't get it. And I looked at YouTube, and they did this random thing. And I was like, well, I'll just do that. But I don't know. I don't understand how that was different to what I was doing. And then there was another bit where it was gravity. So there was a gravity and a magnet together, and you had these two metal things that you had to jump onto one and then climb onto one of them, and then you had to jump onto the other one from the one that you're on. So you needed one low enough for you to jump on, and then the other one like high enough that you could then... But you had to get it perfectly right because you had to have the gravity to come up, to stop, to take one up, and then the magnet to... the magnet to take one up to the ceiling, and then the gravity to stop one like halfway. And again, I was like there for ages. I looked on the YouTube, and they were just like clicking it randomly. It's like, like again, I don't have a clue what they're doing there, but I'll just do that. So it's stuff like that where I'm like, it doesn't really make sense how I've done that, but I've done it. But everything else, it was really thought out, and it was really clever to the point where a lot of it, like I said, I knew what I needed to do, but you had to, with like perfect time and precision to do what you needed to do. I remember there was like, again, I won't go on too long about this game, but where you're on this like mine, what they call the thing that like you go got wheels, like you get them on mines.
Mine cart.
Yeah, you're on this cart thing, and you're going down this metal thing. It's like electric on the floor, so you can't touch the floor. But then you have to like jump over onto this bit, and then there's a saw coming at you, and you got to time that jump so perfectly to get over the saw, but also not to be too far in front of the mine, the cart, so you land on the electric track. So, and that took me like a while because like I was thinking, okay, I just need to get really far ahead, because what I kept doing was I kept just getting hit by the saw, but then I got too far ahead, and I was then
getting electrocuted
in the cart. And I was thinking, I'm gonna have to do this absolutely perfect. But there was like a lot like that, especially with the the jumping and the crates and stuff like that. Like where to place the crates, you have to place them like perfectly. But if you haven't played it, then I would like highly recommend. It's been out I think it came out on the Xbox 360, so it's been out for a long time. But and it's still
you do know as well there is a spiritual sequel to it as well by Playdead called Inside that is also on Game Pass. And do you know what advances they have for game Inside? There's a little bit of colour, just a little bit, not much.
I thought you were gonna say that you could swim.
Oh, you did. Oh, there's quite a lot of swimming in it. There's a bit where you go in, and then there's creatures in there, so you have to distract them and then swim around to various places. And also it's got a sort of equally gross and equally hilarious ending that's just completely weird, batshit crazy, funny. I don't think it's meant to be funny, but it is sort of. I won't spoil it for you. Just to say, it's worth getting to the end just to go, What the hell just happened? So yeah, there's some stealthy bits in it, there's puzzle bits. No doubt you will have to look some of it up. But yeah, it's a really good game as well. It's called Inside. It's by the same people, and it's pretty much the same kind of game. Just a bit.
Yeah.
Would I say it's harder? No. I mean, there's bits that are hard, but I don't think it's any harder than Limbo. It's just ever so slightly different, if that makes sense.
Just saw that Limbo came out in 2010, which is so 15 years ago, and the game still looks really good today, and that's for what it is. Obviously,
absolutely. I mean, it's so good though that you can get it on mobile phones, all sorts. It works on a potato. Limbo does. So yeah, you can get it on your phone, you can get it on all the consoles, PC, everything, and it's definitely a classic game. Very much a classic game.
Yeah, I'll definitely try out Inside as well, because just looking at the reviews, and the reviews seem equally as good for Inside as.
Yeah, it definitely is worth it. They hit the ball out the park, as they say, again. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they're Danish or something like that. But and I don't think they particularly made anything else.
On their website, they only got Inside and Limbo. Is there two?
Yes, I think obviously. Well, Inside's been out at least 2 or 3 years now, so I would guess they've got another game coming, and it will probably be that sort of game. Again, maybe, I don't know. There might be something different. I haven't actually kept up with what they're making, so I'm sure it'll be good. Because I think Limbo and Inside both made them probably a fair bit of money.
Inside came out in 2016, so 9 years ago.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's a really good game. I've just been playing Mirage still. And every time I have one of those things I complain about, I have a little grimace. Every time I have to get the bird out just to find a door or a person that's stood in front of me. I have a little moan. But other than that, it's Assassin's Creed. It's you love it or hate it. And I do like Assassin's Creed, but it's got some problems, Mirage has, which I can't stop playing it. It's really annoying. But that's mostly what I've been playing this week. Also, I've been forced to play Minecraft plenty because it's obviously school holidays at the moment. So Minecraft. When can we play Minecraft? Yes. Tell you what, don't get your kids. Here's a PSA for everybody, including you, Martin. Don't get your kids into games that you like, because they will play it differently. And eventually you'll just be like, I don't want to play it because you play it differently to me. And you don't want to say that to them. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't want to go into creative mode and whatnot. And I know if we go into survival mode, all I'll be doing, I'll be the one that's mining out stuff, and you'll be the one that's just wasting all the stuff I've mined. Like, I'll find 10 diamonds. Yay! Bring them up, put them in a chest. Excellent. Go down, mine some more stuff, come back up. Where's my diamond? Oh, I made some boots! So, anyway, that was my week. Minecraft and Mirage. But yeah, other than that, I haven't been playing anything new. I don't think there's been particularly anything. Actually, tell you what, I will say one thing. Humble choice for PC this month. It's got Banishers, Persona Royal 5 or something like that. Persona 5 or 4. And a few other games. Really good. It's really good. Definitely worth it if you want a few games on PC. It's like $11 or something. So it comes out at about £8 something, £9. Yeah, definitely worth it this month. 100%. So, on to our main subject. We didn't actually say what we were going to talk about, did we?
No.
So, I never owned the thing that we're going to talk about, but I did play it a lot because one of my best friends growing up had one. But you apparently did. I thought that you'd owned its competitor. No. So, reveal to the listeners what we are talking about.
Talking about the Sega Megadrive or the Sega Genesis, depending on where you are in the world. But mostly, apart from North America, it was called the Megadrive.
Yeah. And apparently, as we found out, not South Korea either, because of people not liking other places for whatever reasons. You could have it as the Super Game Boy, which I think any Scottish person would find hilarious. And later, the Super Aladdin Boy was, for whatever reason. Yeah, that's what you could get it for is in South Korea, sorry. Not North Korea. But yeah, so the reason why we're doing this is because the PAL version was released 35 years ago. Now, it is also the North America's 36th anniversary. So it's basically an anniversary for a lot of the world. Not Japan, they were October 1988. So it'll be 37 years in a couple of months. But for us here in Europe and in Australia and a lot more of Asia and where else? Africa, it was September 1990.
Yeah, it still baffles me that you could release something and then 2 years later release it. Like, they would you wouldn't have the Series X or the PlayStation 5 coming out in Japan and then saying to Europe or North America, it'll be out in your region in 2 years' time.
Yeah, I mean, kids nowadays, to talk like that, kids nowadays, they don't realise that when we were kids, like even when you were kids, if you heard a movie was coming out or a game was coming out, say it was coming out in 1991, if it was American in the US, or with games if they were Japanese in Japan, we would get them a year or two later. Yeah, it would depend on where it's made. European games would come out at the same time, and games that were more popular in Europe and such like your FIFAs, they would come out reasonably quickly. But other than that, other games they'd be like, nah, it'll come out in PAL eventually.
But some games wouldn't even come out at all, or there'll be some games that would just be for certain regions. I don't know if that is the case now.
Well, they were region locked, and generally now they're not. No, most consoles aren't region locked nowadays. I don't know, Switch might be. Is the Switch region locked?
I don't know. I'm just thinking, are there like games where they're like, there's no point bringing it out on that region? Because,
yeah, I mean, a lot of Japanese games were, very Japanese, I think. But no, I think there was some big names that never came out in various. Yeah, there's some that might come out in Europe and not in North America. There was some that came out in North America and not Europe. Some that only came in Japan. What's it called? Mother 3 is Earthbound. I think originally that didn't come out in Europe,
that was one of when I watched the documentary about console wars. And one of the reasons why Sega Saturn, one of the many reasons I should say, why Sega Saturn wasn't successful was at the time North America, Sega North America, or Sega America and Sega Japan didn't really like each other, and Sega Japan were releasing games in Japan and not giving it to America. And then America was just releasing. They were going for the quantity to get as many games out as possible, whereas Japan was more about quality. And then you had games like Panzer Dragon or whatever, Panzer Dragoon or Panzer Dragon, which was eventually came out in America and Europe, but it was like a Japan. It was like one of the highest rated games on the Saturn, and it wouldn't come out in the world because Japan.
Well, I mean, do you want some tech specs? It had 64 kilobytes of RAM.
Is this the Megadrive?
Yeah, this is Mega Drive. 64 kilobytes of video RAM and 8 kilobytes of audio RAM. So for those that aren't technically minded, 64 kilobytes would probably not even get you a few words of an audio like an MP3. If you have a document that's got a few pages, quite a few pages, that would be 64 kilobytes. If you put any pictures in any of any kind in a document, it would be bigger than that. That would be a text-only document. Would be 64 kilobytes. And it could portray up to 61 colors at once. Ooh, 61. I think the spectrum was 8.
I don't even know if there are 61 colors. If someone said name 61 colors.
Well, it had up to 61 colors from a palette of 512. So it could select from 512 colors. And yeah, because I mean, this was like what it was like when it was little. I mean, nowadays it's pretty much infinite colors. I think they stopped doing it around. I think it was around the PlayStation 2 era. They stopped saying about colors because it was getting up to the millions, like the multi-millions. And eventually people were like, we don't really care that many because we know it can portray a lot, so we don't care. So they stopped doing it. But 512, it's an okay palette if you're doing a painting kind of thing. But it's quite hard to probably to make good looking games from just a palette of 512. So yeah, that's not bad. Other than that, it's got lots of technological. Yeah, it's got a main microprocessor, is a 1632-bit Motorola 68,000 CPU clocked at. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you seated down? 7.6 megahertz. So obviously right now we're into the gigahertz. So, probably 500 times faster than that. Yeah. So, no, not bad. Hang on, just checking that my maths is right there. 7.6 times 100, 760. Yeah. Probably, but yeah, your average processor in a PC is 500 times faster than that. And the processor controls the sound holder. Hang on, it had backwards compatibility with the Master System. What? Although that's just the audio. I don't know.
Anyway. I can't remember what the Master System cartridges.
Yeah, I don't think they were the same, but no, I think it's maybe to have the similar like programming, maybe. So let's get on to the more exciting bits. Although, some people, the technical specifications are the exciting bits. Games. Now, you are the only one that actually owned one. So what did you get with your Mega Drive when you got one?
Well, it was quite a long time ago when you consider how old I am. But
so you were quite young.
I was pretty young, but I do remember playing games on it. I think I had one of these cartridges which had multiple games on it, and if I can remember.
Oh, so did you get one quite late in its lifetime?
It was a Sega Megadrive 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the smaller version.
Slightly smaller, a bit lighter.
Had Streets of Rage on it.
Nice.
I think had a Sonic on it. A Golden.
Streets of Rage 1, yeah?
I think so, yeah. But it's Sonic the Hedgehog 1 or 2, I don't know. Columns was on it. Golden Axe and I think Shinobi were the ones on it. So pretty good games on it.
Pretty good games, but I don't know about you, but I've never got along with Shinobi, mostly because I couldn't really get past about
pretty hard.
It was bloody hard. You got past the first level, and you're like, yay! And then you just died straight away. I'm like, okay.
So the game I really liked were Golden Axe and Streets of Rage, just because you could play that with your friends at the same time.
Yeah. Did you have the 6-button or the 3-button controller?
Three button. I did not know there was a 6th button.
They released that at the same time as the Street Fighter was released, and it was great for a lot of games because I think you could have the extra games in buttons in games that didn't necessarily control it. I think could do other things. I don't remember exactly what, but it was fantastic. The fact that you didn't have to have because what you had to do was press a button and hold the start button or something and press one of the fires or one of the punch, kick, or like high, medium, or high, medium, or hard punch or kick, whatever. So that you had access to if you only had the 3-button controller, and it was bloody hard. So all you ended up doing was using the 3 buttons as normal. But I think you could get a version that came with the 6-button controller, or it released it with it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the 6-button. I have seen that controller, but yeah, I didn't have that one. I had the.
So which would be your favourite? The Megadrive, the 3-button one, not necessarily the 6-button one. The Megadrive controller or the SNES controller? They are both D-pad only. They are both 3 or 4 button, and yeah. So which was your way one?
I mean, I didn't have a SNES when I was.
If I said to you right now, you can play this like 16-bit game or this 8-bit game with the controller, you can play it with either the SNES or the Mega Drive controller. Which would you pick? Let's say, here you go. Here's Golden Axe. You can play it with Mega Drive or the SNES.
Probably the Mega Drive.
Mega Drive. It did have the contours, didn't it?
I mean, looking at them both together, I feel like I would be hitting the wrong button a lot with the SNES. With how they bring it out. Whereas, though saying that, I remember with the Mega Drive, especially on Streets of Rage, I used to always press the wrong button. And
it did. The rocket launcher car would come on, and you'd be like, "Hang on, just want to hit them." Oh, damn it! I pressed the. Damn it!
I really needed that for the boss, and now I'm gonna have to kill the boss without dying. But.
Yeah, if you didn't do that, it was like you got to the boss and like, excellent, just press the special attack. That's finished. Press the special attack. That's finished. Excellent. I think you had 3, wasn't it? You had press the special attack, punch them a couple of times, and they died.
I think you only had 1 level. I think.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would take about half their life, so you would then have to just do the rest. But if you accidentally used it in the level, then you would have to. But if there was 2 of you playing it, then you would do it, and then the other person would do it, and then that would be all right. Then you would just do that. Would be the boss done, but sometimes you would accidentally use it, and you'd actually have to fight the boss. Controller, I'm going to say Mega Drive, but I haven't really played. I have played the SNES, but not like. I didn't play as much as I played the Mega Drive later in life. But what about you?
So,
what do you?
Yeah, I mean, it's got the 4 buttons, which are in a diamond shape on the SNES, which is a bit more like modern ones. But yeah, I do like the smooth contours and the sort of bean shape of the Mega Drive. I can't really remember how clicky the D-pads were, though. All I remember trying to do like quarter circle moves on Street Fighter was awkward, I think, on the Mega Drive. I didn't play Street Fighter on SNES, so I can't really tell you how but it was. I suppose we need Tom. Really, we'll have to ask his opinion next week.
You know what I say.
But yeah, no, it was not great. But nowadays, if I'm going to play a fighting game on Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, I use the D-pad. Personally, I can't stand using sticks because I don't know about you, but I push the sticks up on modern controllers, and I look at where I'm pushing. I'm normally pushing at about 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock if it was a clock. I'm never pushing it straight up. If I go right, let's push it straight up without looking, push it up, and I'm never actually pushing it straight up. So because you had the tactile, D-pad, it was much easier to do quarter circles than it is to know that you're doing a quarter circle with modern sticks because you're just pushing it in a quarter circle. But I don't know if I'm doing it down and left. And
if
then
you want to test your analog stick quality, or
no, it's a me thing.
No. I was saying if you want to test yourself on the analog sticks, then try play Tiger Woods.
Oh God, no! Oh no!
They do allow you the option of clicking the button.
Controls. I hate stick controls with modern golf games. Hate them. Give me three button press any day. That's all I want.
You can switch it to that. Can't you?
Yeah, you can switch them with something. There was one game that you couldn't, and it was stick controls or nothing. So I was like, fine, I'll just uninstall and never play it again. But no, I can't stand stick controls and those games. For exactly that reason, because I pull back and it goes at like 5 o'clock, and I push forward and it goes to 11 o'clock, and it's like my player would never hit a golf ball in his life. What am I doing? Can't stand it. It is because I'm crap at it. But give me a 3 button and I'm hitting them straight. No problem, because it's all about timing. But anyway. Well, and that's another one that was very good on the Mega Drive. PGA Tour. So good.
Never played PGA Tour.
Well, back in the day, I mean, if you look at videos of it now, oh my God, those graphics suck. But in the 1990s, that was amazing. It had fly-throughs of like holes that were accurate to actual, PGA Tour courses. And yes, the graphics nowadays, if you look at it, graphics are not great. That's a nice way of putting it. But back in the day, and they still work all right. You could still aim. You could still look at where you're aiming on the overhead, and then you aim for it, and then it comes back to the behind the character, and you aim, and it shoots off the ball, and then it lands in a place accurate according to how well you did the 3 buttons, and then you potted, and you felt like a proper golfer. It was great fun. And obviously, you used to be able to play that with multiple people, but one person at a time. And you only needed 1 controller. So it's a fantastic game. But that was available on most consoles. So what made it... Well, actually, I'll ask first. Did you have a choice in whether you got a Mega Drive or SNES, or was it bought for you? Did you ask for it?
Well, considering... It was more for my brother, who's... I'm trying to think how much. I think he's about 5-6 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if he had a choice, but I imagine it was probably largely down to price. I think the Mega Drive was a bit cheaper than the SNES. But I mean, I wouldn't have changed it if I went back in time and I had the knowledge of what I got now as a 4-year-old or whatever, 3 or 4-year-old, whenever we had the Mega Drive, I would still choose the Mega Drive. But I don't know. I think it's because that was the main console. I was like the first console. I had an Amiga, but I think I had that after the Mega Drive. But that was more I think someone gave it to us, so But the Mega Drive was the first sort of console that really got me into gaming. So if it wasn't for the Mega Drive, I probably wouldn't be here sat doing a podcast.
I don't think it was due to price.
Okay.
Because the introductory price, now granted, because of the Mega Drive 2, it might have got cheaper. But when it was released in the UK, the Mega Drive was $189.99, whereas the Super Nintendo was released for £150. The Super Nintendo was in April 1992. So it was released 2 years later.
Yeah.
So what year were you born?
1989.
So if you were very young, Mega Drive 2 came out. Hang on, let's see when that was released. Variations, first party models. I'm just trying to see when the Mega Drive, the Genesis 2 came out. That came out in 1993. So the SNES would have been out when it came out. Yeah. So, yeah, they would have both been out when you got it.
I'd have to go back and ask my mum. Be like, Mum, can you remember 36?
Why you bought that?
Why did you choose the Mega Drive over the SNES?
It would probably be because that's what your brother went, please, can I have Genesis? Mega Drive.
I like Sonic.
Yeah, so, well, that's where we go from here is what made it a success? Was it the quality of the games? Was it the fact that I think it was advertised as a more adult version of the Super Nintendo? It was like, oh, you're a baby, play the SNES. If you're a big kid, play the Mega Drive. Or was it just, just it did all right just because it was a games console? What do you think?
Just was because at the time Nintendo had a monopoly, didn't they, of the whole gaming market. It was when there was NES or the Master System, no one really bought them at Master System. I think they had
I think the Master System was more of a success in Europe. I think the NES was just such a massive hit in the US. I think but Master System was dwarfed by the NES worldwide, definitely. Sorry,
they had an aggressive advertising campaign, and they just gave gave people an alternative over the SNES, and they marketed it as that we're cooler than the SNES. You could be here playing Sonic with all these colors and this sound, or you can carry on playing Mario or whatever. But I don't know. I think Sonic helped. See, having a
mascot,
yeah,
definitely. The thing is, I mean, you could get things like Streets of Rage on Mega Drive. You could get, and although SNES will always be known for the RPGs that it had on it, Mega Drive did have more adult ones like Phantasy Star that were the more adult kind of thing. And yes, they had Sonic, which Sonic is still a sort of childish icon, but it was more. I mean, we could go to the top of the add more adult thing, and they allowed Mortal Kombat, and they literally went, "Ha, you can't get it." Now, eventually, they did get it on SNES, but without a special code, you couldn't get blood. But yeah, so I think they definitely grabbed some children by going, if you play the SNES, you're a child. But the thing is, as we're parents, we know sometimes you say to your kids, that's for little kids. And they go, I don't care, I really like it. Like my kid, doesn't like Paw Patrol anymore because he's 7. But I tell you what, if I put something Paw Patrol in front of him, he eats that stuff up. He loves it. Don't tell him that I told you that, but keep it secret. But yeah, he absolutely cannot stand Paw Patrol. No, it's for babies. But if I put on Paw Patrol or get a Paw Patrol game up, or looking up something Paw Patrol, just to wind him up, he absolutely loves it. And I think it was the same with the Mega Drive, in the fact that a lot of kids were told, "Oh yeah, you're a right little kid if you like Mario and all its baby stuff," and a lot of kids were like, "Yeah, that's fine." But it's the teens. It's like the ones who are getting Fortnite now. Yeah, the teens were like, "Yeah, I don't want to play Mario. It's for kids," and they got what they wanted. They got more adult things, but at the same time, they got kids stuff. So, do you have a list of games in your head that would be your dream library? Any number. We won't stick with a number or top 3 or anything like that. But so what games were the ones that made you rush home from school or nursery or wherever you went, and were like, "Oh my god, I gotta play this," or made you battle your brother the best?
I'd say more my friends. I would say I can't really remember playing it with my brother, but I'd say in terms of like what I remember, the Sonic the Hedgehogs. You had Sonic Hedgehog, Sonic Hedgehog 2. I think you had Sonic and Knuckles as well. You had quite a few different types of Sonic games. Streets of Rage was probably
Which of course had 3 different ones, but you had the first one on your.
Yeah, and then Golden Axe again was another game I really enjoyed when I was.
Now I loved.
Go
on.
I'd say Micro Machines because it had the
so good
with the extra ports in there, so you could play that 4-player on it. So
that was such a good game.
Group of you, and it was. And even on your own, it was a good game because you.
It was a good game on your own, but having 4 of you play, or I think, could you have it 8-player or was it just 4-player?
I think it was just 4-player.
Was it just 4-player? So good.
Yeah, like on the individual one, it was like a league format. So you would the more you won, you'd go up, and then you would race better drivers, which I quite enjoyed. But yeah, the playing it 4-player was the main attraction of that game, having it. And lastly, like Street Fighter was me and my cousin used to play that a lot, and we pretty weird, strangely, even though we're fighting against each other, we created our own little virtual league, and we would pretend that they were playing, and then we'd see which one won the most. I mean, Sagat used to be the one that would win the most when we were and funnily enough, I watched the Street Fighter film recently, and that was in 1994, so it probably would have been the same sort of time when.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I mean, it was when it was at the height of its fame, kind of thing. Was it Kylie Minogue, Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah, that one who was Home Alone, but I can't remember his name.
Macaulay Culkin?
Not Home Alone. The Addams Family. How I got?
Raul Julia. Yeah, because that was what it was. His last film before he died.
Film was he passed away.
Yes, sadly, I think he was quite relatively young. I don't think he was particularly old. Yeah,
he
had a heart attack and died, I think.
Release, wasn't it? But yeah, that film.
Micro Machines, yeah, that's a good pick. There was so many games on because I think the N64 had a lot of for the Super Nintendo Nintendo consoles had a lot of. They realised that people were having friends round and wanted multiple people to play. But Super Nintendo, a lot of their top games were single player or 2-player. And yeah, I think Mega Drive did do quite well with quite a few sort of. Yeah,
I don't know if there were any other games.
I'm sure there was an add-on that you could plug in.
No, the only one I can think of is Mario Micro Machines, but yeah, I think.
I'm just seeing. I'm just going to have a quick Google. So let's. We've mentioned him a few times, but let's go for the main mascot, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I'm going to say something pretty wild here. Sonic 1 was good, but Sonic 1 was basically just a warm-up for Sonic 2. And Sonic 2 is where it's at. If you talk to people, they all talk about Sonic 2. They always talk about, the Green Hills Zone running into Chemical Zone and the pinball. The pinball zones. They were massively frustrating, but they were so much fun where you could just go into the. You worked out how to go back into the pinball machine and back into it back in it straight away. Get loads of rings eventually, and then just finish the level and do the. You had the 3D bonus levels as well, and then they got the cheats that had a level select, and then you went in the level select, and there was a sound. There was a sound picker. You had to put in a code, which I still remember nowadays, which opened up a level select, which had a sound effect player in it, and you put another code in that to unlock the debug mode. So you could literally turn into an item or a ring or something like that. You could either put loads. All you had to do was fly all the way to the end, put loads of rings down. You could put down items wherever you wanted. So you just put loads of rings down, turn back into Sonic, collected all the rings that you just put down, and then finish the level.
Was also 2-player, wasn't it? Because someone
what
could
was?
be Tails. It was also 2-player, wasn't it? Multi.
Yes.
Because Tails was in the second one, wasn't he? Whereas it's just.
And you'd always have somebody who you'd be like, "Oh, sorry, have I gone off the screen?" And you're having to catch up. Okay, and you'd stand there, wait for them to just come down very slowly as Tails to land, and just as they landed, you'd speed off so they got left behind again.
Yeah, because he would come down and he'd be like floating in the air.
Yeah, and you'd be like, "Okay, yeah, I'll wait for you." Oh, you're there. Zoom. I was a bit of a git. Yeah, sorry. But no, me and my friends used to do that to each other constantly. Be like, "No, let me do something." Okay, I'll let you land. Oh, you've landed. You just sit there spinning, do like the speeding up the spin. Be like, yeah, come on, land. I'll let you land. I was a bit of a git. But yeah, so have you played all the Sonics that were on the Mega Drive?
Maybe. Definitely played 1 and 2. I can't remember if I played 3. I did play Sonic and Knuckles as well, but because I think there's 4 in total, isn't there?
Yeah, was it Sonic and Knuckles that you had the Sonic and Knuckles? You had the it was a cartridge that you could put other cartridges in the top, or because it came out as Sonic Knuckles or Sonic 3, and then you could plug in Sonic Knuckles on top, or something like that. Which way round was it? Yes, I'm just looking as well. There is a Sega Megadrive multiplayer adapter where you could have 4 controllers plugged in, and I'm sure there was a game that took 2 of those, and you plugged it in, or something like that. Although it looks like, oh no, hang on, it looks like it plugs into both the ports. And that was the maximum. So it split the 2 ports into 4 rather than the 1 port into 4. Don't know what games were worked with it. Lets you play. Oh, NBA Jam. That was one that you could play with it. Don't know. Sega Megadrive. I don't know. Yeah, so there was a few four-player games that you could play. Including NBA Jam, and apparently, and what was the other one? It was I did see somewhere. It was NBA Jam and something else. No. Oh, Mega Bomberman. So it's probably not very many games that probably took it, but still, back in the 90s, if you could have a 4 of you playing, it would always be, because nobody would actually have 4 controllers, so you'd always have to have that other friend who had 2 controllers.
Yeah, or you'd have like the third-party controllers, which
just as good as sort of third-party controllers for other generations of consoles. But yeah, back to Sonic. I think it was Sonic 3 that you could Sonic 3 cartridge. Yeah, it had like an opening at the top, and you could plug in other ones. Or was it Sonic and Knuckles?
Sonic and Knuckles had something.
I'm just looking it up now. Yeah. So it was Sonic and Knuckles. Basically went in. You could plug other cartridges in the top of it, and apparently you could do it with some games. You could plug it into the top, and it would do weird things with the graphics. So yeah, it was just really weird. But it was a good idea. It just didn't catch on for any other games. That was all. It was probably really expensive. Although it does look like it's quite cheap to actually get it, unless you get the Japanese version. You can buy one for about £20 on eBay. Unless you want to go for the Megadrive version, which is about £160. Now, for me, if we go away from the Sonic a bit, I don't know if you know of a game called Star Control.
No.
It was basically sort of like a. It was. Well, basically, you had 2D spaceships, and you flew them around, and you flew them to star bases where you could buy things and sell things. Then you had. You would meet a spaceship in the massive universe that you could fly around, and you would then go to a single screen where you would fly around like asteroids style and try and defeat that other ship. But you had upgrades and you had fuel that you had to use, and according to how much you got shot, you lost energy. According to how many crew you had, all this kind of thing was how fast you fired, and it was just really good. There was politics, so if you were in the wrong place and you were a certain race, then people wouldn't like you, so wouldn't sell things to you or all this kind of thing. So it's sort of like your like Elite kind of thing, not as big as Elite, but yeah, it was just such a big game. And I remember me and my friend probably put hundreds of hours into it. I didn't have a Mega Drive, so I'd just go around his and we'd just sit there for hours and hours and hours playing it. It was so good. And I think it was well received, but it was.
Just having a look. The developer was Toys for Bob. They're the ones who do Crash Bandicoot now, don't they?
Okay. Oh.
Wow, they did Crash Bandicoot 4, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, so they worked on them, yes, and they created Skylanders.
Very popular Skylanders, isn't it?
Yeah, they're still going.
Young people, there's still people at Skylanders, don't they?
They were owned by Crystal Dynamics, then Activision. So it looks like they've gone independent now. by the looks of it, when Activision was bought out by Microsoft, they went independent. So it's not bad. Yeah, pretty good. So yes, Star Control, it was just a big open-ended. I think there was a story, but it was basically open-ended sci-fi space epic with quite basic graphics. There was I'd say you could play the Urquan Masters, which is an open source remake, and you could still play Star Control nowadays. It's fantastic. And I'd highly recommend people go and play it. It is a fantastic game if you like open-ended games. Yeah, all the fashion nowadays is roguelike and all that kind of thing. Games that don't end. Yeah, so good, so good. One of the other games I think that me and my friend played a lot. Hang on, let's see if I can actually find it because I'm not 100% sure of its name, but it was an RPG, but it was one that actually might be one of the fantasy style ones. But yeah, so me and my friend did play occasionally sort of the single player games, but we just play where we could both input. I'm just trying to remember the name of it, but I don't know. But although SNES was the king of the RPGs, they did have quite a lot on the Mega Drive. There were some damn good ones. But a couple of games that I just remembered that were probably some of the biggest games on Mega Drive. Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah.
So good. So good. I still remember the graphics for that. I mean, it's another one where if you look at it now, you go, but back in the day, that was almost it felt photorealistic. I mean, you just look at it now, you're like, that felt photorealistic, really? But no, it was just absolutely amazing. And the fact that you could make this dolphin fly around the quite large levels, it just looked absolutely brilliant. And it had all sorts. It had good environments. It had other creatures that you could see that looked good. And I'm just looking at some screenshots now, and it doesn't look particularly exciting, but for the time, that was just absolutely outstanding. And the other one I was thought about is the Strike games. So you got Desert Strike, Jungle Strike, and Urban Strike. Did you play any of those games?
I did, yeah. I remember just flying around
and dying, probably.
Shooting a lot, bombing as much as I could. But yeah, dying a lot as well.
It was very good until you realised it was the whole thing of the game was because you were timed. You couldn't just spend forever. You had to get to a place, and your bullets could always go a couple of pixels more than enemies' attacks. So all you had to do was sort of like tap towards an enemy, and you would just sit there shooting it. And yes, you could use your missiles and rockets, but yeah, that was what you had to do. And you had to do it really quickly because otherwise you ran out of time because of how slowly you had to do it, because you had to get rid of one or two enemies. I mean, there'd be human enemies. You'd just fly over them and shoot. But when it came to tanks and armored vehicles, you'd have to sort of just creep towards them until you started shooting them, and they didn't react to you, so you just sat there, basically cheesed it. But they were fantastic games again. They worked so well. I don't think there's anything like them nowadays, really, is there? There's no modern games that have that kind of arcadey but realistic feel. No.
Gotta think of any more. I mean, there's going to be loads, isn't there, that we.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, so many games were instrumental to the success of the Mega Drive. I mean, Earthworm Jim, that was a good one. You had Moonwalker and Dick Tracy that were on it. The FIFA games started on Mega Drive. So without the Mega Drive, you wouldn't have had FIFA, which is now EAFC, obviously. But then you had Flashback. We talked about Flashback the other day, the other week. Do you remember we talked about Flashback and we couldn't remember what the other game was that was similar to it? It was called Another World. I remembered after we stopped recording, I was like, oh, it was called Another World. Oh, damn it. We've already recorded. There was a game called Another World that was a bit like Flashback, that used sort of the fluid animation kind of thing. But yeah, in terms of platformers, you had all the Disney games like Aladdin, Lion King, that kind of thing. Mickey Mouse. Yeah. Oh god, those were some good games.
Fantasia. What was the castle one?
Castle of Illusion.
Castle of Illusion.
Yeah.
They were probably.
We haven't even got onto all the add-ons and everything. Yeah, the Mega CD, the 32X, Mega CD, if you like, FMV. Yeah, great ones. But we won't have time for them because we have nattered on about the Mega Drive for quite a while. Yeah, it's been an hour. So let us know what you think of the Mega Drive or the Genesis if you're in North America. What do you think was the best game? What do you think was the worst game? Do you think it was crap? The Mega Drive. I mean, Sega is still going, but just not as hardware manufacturers. So other than that, I think that's us coming to an end. So like and subscribe, or find all of our episodes at www.focusongaming.co.uk. And I am going to head off now, and so is Martin.
Right.
And he's going to go and reminisce about his time when he was a small child.
Yeah.
And on that note, bye.